But you're definitely going to need that front line when you've got a short-range burster like Ryze, and it's probably going to be Poke Varus as well. So once that engage does break out, you're going to want to make sure you can keep that Ryze safe.
So we're like,
Gragas
okay.
has a dash and a knock-up.
But it's different, you know? Like,
it is.
Gragas has to go over...
Whoa, shakes!
Honkyu?
Yeah, Honkyu just forgetting that there's a champion with targeted abilities right next to him. He tanks a full combo, is forced to ghost and flash, and bye-bye Honkyu. He's going to have to take a recall here, and now his jungler's outnumbered. Junja going to dash forward, looking to be able to take down Shanks. Shanks flashes over the wall. Up comes the shield to keep Junja standing. Tarzan takes him for half of what he's worth. And JDG just put on the back foot.
Yeah, they knew Tarzan was there, by the way. Honkyu's using his ult to get right back into the lane, but, like, what is the thought process? I love the timing there from Tarzan. Walks into mid, screens Junja away from this. Now, Junja has Comet Spear and has his top laner move here, but this might just be a solo.
What is going on from JDG? Oh? They just forget that the other champions have abilities. Junja follows in Honkyu's feet, goes right after, takes a ton of damage, goes down for first blood. Here's Flandra to collapse onto Honkyu. That's a double kill going over to AL. Knockups onto Xiaoshu, double to Flandra, 3-0 AL.
Why did my top laner flash there? Why did my Rumble just flash there? I mean, very little missing from AL. They're going to have both of their ultimates and their mid-jungle available, and as long as Dragon isn't started within the next 30 to 45 seconds, Hope's going to have that chain of corruption ready to go. And we got to go to another replay. I love being in replays, guys. We don't want to see live ever. It was a fantastic hook for a Vampire, but, I mean...
Listen, it was hard to see this play in the picture-in-picture. It's real tiny. Nice double knockup found by Kyle, though. Locks him down. It's a guaranteed change corruption spread. And hey, look, we're going to be owed another replay here because we missed this play, but Shanks and Flandra collapse onto Xiaoshu in the top side. Realm Warp gets the job done. And I don't know what mystical being Flandra has impressed as of late, but yet another game where my man starts 3-0 without having to really do much.
All right. This is going to be my first piece of controversial comparisons here.
All right, I'm ready for it.
Do we consider Rek'Sai to be horse-like?
Sure, I can give you horse-like.
Okay.
I think you could ride Rek'Sai if that's the question. See if they're going to be able to try to hold on here just a little bit longer and do more than hold on.
Goodbye.
Vampire taking an engage, but it's a 2 versus 3, 3 versus 3 with Gala, 4 versus 3 with Junja. In comes the Grand Starfall, but Junja isolated, and Yastin, you will receive. Oh, there's Pantheon doing something. He goes down to 1 versus 4. JDG already down a man in the fight. Shanks and Flandra just starting to clear the waves as they know this fight is done, and Dusted and AL go up to 6-0.
But aside from that, we haven't seen any of that. We took really puzzling trades in mid-jungle around the lane, and now we're going to get constantly out-rotated.
All right, there's a lockdown coming through onto Honkyu. The dive comes
Stay
through.
free.
3v1, nice and easy. Kyle doesn't even get his name on that one. Here comes the Rumble ultimate. There's going to be a lockdown from Vampire. Gala here to start firing off shots. Kyle with the Unbreakable Will, holding on as long as he can. Max distance. Chains of Corruption going to lock down Gala. Vampire looking for a little bit more, but it's Tarzan. He is strong enough to withstand the pressure. Hope still threatening from the side, and that's going to be it for the play. It's just Honkyu falling down, no trade found. Flandra gets some alone time in the top lane. I think he's going to take first turret here before too long. He's even going to lie in wait for a few seconds, just make sure that Xiaoshu doesn't have a nice and easy path in.
Yeah, Xiaoshu just misses out on more waves. Good job from Flandra. Show some respect, and more importantly, if the turret's going to die anyway, you might as well make him lose some more CS. You're already up 30 here in this matchup.
They're threatening on towards the bottom side, just taking full control, choking JDG out of their own jungle. It's going to make it easier to get onto this second dragon and just continue to eliminate options from this team. Flandra over the wall, going to get the knockup on Honkyu, interrupts his ultimate. Rift Herald spawned in mid, lockdown coming through in the mid lane onto Hope. He's going to flash into the enemy jungle. Things getting a little chaotic here, but Tarzan here to bail out his marksman. Hope gets good damage onto Gala. Kyle here for the backup. Hope jumps into the Rift Herald, takes it right to the wall, just trying to get a couple of minutes of alone time. Flandra finds the assassination. Vampire chasing him down to the opposite side. Equalizer goes nowhere. there. Xiaoshu cuts off an escape route, but Flandre doesn't even take that one. Now moves forward onto Junja. He's going to fall down, but he's got a pretty good fight set up for Tarzan. Kael throws himself into the fray. Hope is back after his little foray with the Rift Herald, but I think that's it for the team fight. AL going to be able to retreat back out through the jungle, and all in all, I think that was a 2-for-1.
I really feel like a part of like a government official. I would like to reclaim my time.
So far has done a good job being able to keep himself safe. His flash is still down for the time being. Same is true for Shanks. Baron has been the focus for now. AL taking control of the top side. Tarzan just throws himself into a 1-versus-4.
Yeah,
the rest
brother.
of the team's here to back him up, though. Kael in there with the unbreakable will. Hongq's forced back. The health bars for JDG are not getting much lower. Curtain call opened up. I don't think Kael's getting out of this one. That's some gold into Gala's pocket. Shanks, meanwhile, caught in a 1-versus-2 on the other side. Hongq and Xiaoshu with enough damage to take him down. There's one of those shutdowns we were just talking about. Xiaoshu cashes out with the gold, and JDG get themselves a couple for free. Absolutely. This is still third Dragon, despite it being 25 minutes. It's not really been a Dragon-focused game thus far, but it's looking like it should go over to AL. Flandre gets the jump onto Xiaoshu here. Takes a little bit of damage for his troubles, but parties will just be backing away from each other for the time being. And
so, Flandre's not going to be able to match on sides, and he also doesn't have access to that big HP shield that you get this season. So that is a pretty good trade from JDG, I will say. And again, gold is staying relatively the same, 6,000.
Taking out here, it is going to be Junja, knocked on up. They throw down the equalizer. They have successfully cut off Hope, but he just fires a piercing arrow right through and finds its way onto Junja. Vampire isolated to take it down by Shanks. Tarzan got to get onto Gala, and it's a clean wipe for AL. 5-for-0 ace. They buy their time, they hold a 6K gold lead for 10 minutes, and now the game is over. Baron cashing out on any benefits he can get from his union this game, because he is not going down one time. AL close out the game without him. They're going to win game number 1.
Hey, Shanks hit 3 items, he activated the actualizer, and it turns out the game just ends. I didn't know they added that, but look, we're on 26-3, so it makes sense that they changed the item on this patch. But an amazing win here from AL. More things to stack on top of questions. If I'm top A, I'm gonna be like, look, we're not gonna worry about builds, guys, because you guys could have built anything that would not have solved our early game in this one.
The good counter to this, though, is the Silas, and that's going to get snapped on up for Tarzan in the jungle, baby. I love to see it. Tarzan busting out something a little bit spicy. You save him R5 jungle.
He's going to have access to Dominus. I don't think there's a solo kill ever happening in this lane for the rest of the game now.
Shanks did just drop ultimate in mid, I think, just to clear out the wave a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Really tempo concern in this matchup. Just wants to get that lost chapter, get back to lane, not miss out on any minions. Junja is already 6 before the second scuttle, so good stuff by Junja. Must have sapped a little bit of lane XP there, and solid little trade. But yeah, I mean, like you said, it's tough when he just keeps siphoning power on you. Meanwhile, looks towards the bottom lane for both junglers. Tarzan wants a brawl with Junja's Maokai. Vampire going to be the first one on in here. Kael trying to find a little bit of harassment. They're going to exchange Nature's Grasp. Tarzan falling lower and lower, though. Can he use the Kingslayer to get a little bit of health back? Both AD carries fighting back and forth. Hope wins the one-on-one. Tarzan dives in and cleans house. 3-0 AL. They do it again.
Silas can't hijack the Nature's Grasp again, at least for a while here, so surprised that we're not going to try to fight this.
Ooh, there's going to be a combo coming through onto Hope. He's going to be chunked down.
Hope
Advance forward, gets the growth on top of Kael, and Gala forced to flash defensively, but here comes Junja with the Nature's Grasp, blocked away by Kael, but Hope's got nowhere left to go. He's going to fall on down.
Let's go, Kael!
Out of the turret, though. Nice dodge with a twisting advance. Junja stays alive, and Kael is not able to get anything back for his marksman.
Not only to this Victor, but now Silas, who picks up all 3 grubs here in this fight. So as long as we can get someone else on a turret, if we can maybe usher Shanks later in the game to pick up one of these outer turrets, not all that surprising to see that AL, at least in recent history in best of 5s, we have never seen JDG beat this team in these kinds of series. So it'd be a really big surprise if JDG could actually do it, especially with the form that we've not only seen from them this year, but even just tonight by itself. It is already looking like AL are still keeping it pushing when it comes to their level of play. They're setting up a bot lane dive here. This is the encore here for Tarzan. No flash.
Nice connect onto Gala. They are going to start off the dive onto him. Nobody in a great position to be able to tank, though. Doesn't seem to matter. Gala falls down, stunned up by the gravity well, but now Tarzan caught up inside the enemy jungle. He will lose his life for that. It is a 1-for-1 thus far as AL try to retreat. Kyle already a little bit low, though, going to get blown up by one of those saplings, and a flash encore from Vampire will lock down 2. Hope falls down as well. Junja forces the flash out of Shanks, and JDG even up the kills, close to even up the gold. They're alive in this game, Alk.
Wow, Gala dies? I was positing that because Ashe lost flash on that trade, that would have been good for them, but AL spend way too much time. A great defense from JDG. They don't even lose any plates. They'll get all of these flash, the flash from Shanks, and now they get the dragon. They get at least 2 dragons here. JDG are feeling good as AL essentially spent their entire advantage there trying to kill this Ashe. Gord, I don't know how you feel about the Maokai champion, but I am not excited for this champion to come back in competitive play. I was really happy with where the meta is. Like, we got to see Kiana, and then, you know, like, there was the threat of Jace, there was Poppy and everything, but Maokai is incredibly boring. Here we go.
Uh-oh. Here he goes again. Nature's Grasp finds its way on towards 1, but Tarzan returns fire. Here comes the Fate sealed over the wall. Hongq getting himself involved. Down goes Tarzan. Gala gets himself a double kill. Hope forced off of the play, and JDG, for the first time this series, will take the lead. Starting to scale up on this Yone. That's what they need. They need Junja and Hongq awake and alive in this game. Don't do it to him again. Don't do it to him again. Oh my god.
That's beautiful.
Gala's gonna rage quit on stage, bro.
Knowing how muscular he is, he might just like stand up and walk over to Flandre. He's gonna be like, I see you have K-tape, brother. Don't mess with me, okay?
Oh,
Hongq, he's got the mini wave, should be fine.
I don't know about that. Does get himself taken down. Nature's Grasp, a hell of a drug, holds him still for long enough. They guarantee the gravity well off of that one, and down goes Hongq for the first time this game. Quick on his feet to dodge the abduct. If Tarzan hits that E, it very well might be a dead Junja. He dodges that one from Fog pretty quick, does the back step. You got to give him credit there, but it's not going to do much to save this dragon. Does go over to AL, stops the stacking, and Junja already threw out the Nature's Grasp. They're looking for a little bit of violence here. They do find Shanks. He has to cleanse, dodges away from 2 ultimates in 1. Now here comes the ultimate from Tarzan, gets to the encore. Return encore from Vampire, lands onto more people, but doesn't do more to win the fight as Tarzan's still brawling right in his front line. Flash in from Flandre, finds 1 execute, dives through on towards Vampire, chucking away at his health bar with the Dominus, and Junja and Vampire on slivers of HP, getting circled by Shanks and Flandre. Will they be able to close this out? Kyle's en route. They don't want to let these fish go, and I don't think they're going to be able to get away.
Yeah, Junja has no HP. Kyle's here, and they're still pushing on top side. Let's just get our 2v2. Let's go ahead and take our turret as well. Let's all wave into the smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Yeah, Vampire getting lower and lower. Flandre falling low. They do clean up the kills. It is at the cost of Flandre's life.
Oh, wait a minute.
It might be at the cost of Shanks, too. They took a little too long. Gala came back, and Gala gets some revenge. It's a 2 for 2 in the bottom.
That's not that bad. AL did still grab the dragon at the end of that, and they're still getting Herald. So while this game is a bit more back and forth, I would say that I'm still in favor of AL. It feels like they're the ones that are making the right decisions at the right time, and JDG are more often than not having to pick off stragglers and picking off AL when they decide they want to go for an extra play after they've already committed so much.
Whoa, Tarzan with the stolen away Fate Seal, looking to keep the fight going out of Hongq. Hongq wants this 1 versus 2, and he's going to regret it very quickly. Hope melts him with the full Yunara combo, and there goes Hongq.
I need to see Hongq on this almost two items, Yone, to make something happen. Otherwise, it feels like the pick has not really gone our way, and JDG really do need a soul stacking objective to try to get them this game.
Ooh, Tarzan, nice positioning on the Nature's Grasp there, but Xiaoshu He's got enough mobility in his kit. His champion came out in the last couple of years, so he's able to get his way out of the Nature's Grasp in time. Does cost him everything in the champion kit. Doesn't have to blow the flash, though, crucially. Little rocket belt into between worlds will make his way out to safety, and the Dragon going to start off by JDG at the same moment. I like this. They should be able to get themselves a soul point.
They'll finish it, but do they even get it? I mean, they're losing so much in mid right now. They're losing the Herald. The Herald just took down mid-tier 1. AL have complete control of the lane, and then they're going to take a second turret here. So it comes down to this objective in 5 minutes. It's a 1,500 gold lead here for Hope. You've got minor leads in all the other lanes except for bottom lane, especially in the support position, as Vampire is really turboed in terms of the income. But JDG, they lose a lot. Now it's kind of an all-or-nothing gamble on what is going to be a Dragon spawning in 4 minutes. When it comes to pro play, he has free ward coverage, free objective control when it comes to his E and his ultimate. It's non-committal, so if you miss everything like this, you can go for it.
Double Fate sealed found here by Honkyu, and he's going to lose his life for it. Down he goes to Hope's damage, chasing him down through the Soul Unbounded. Tarzan looking for some more. Locks down Junja, forces the flash over the wall, and no Yone means map control to AL.
I have seen very few big mistakes, and a lot of them have been, again, AL going for a +1 on a play. We just won a big team fight. Let's go for some more. Junja, no flash here. He has 2 levels down in jungle.
And he's just up million miles in the river. Will get picked off. Tarzan finds him. Tarzan takes him down. It's a 4v5 with Dragon spawning in 15 seconds. AL, blood in the water, wants some more. Flandra flashes forward, thinks he can take on the bot lane single-handedly, and he might just be able to do so. Honkyu gets the knockback onto 2, but Shanks flashes over the wall. It's frontline Victor looking to tear through JDG, and they will do so. Double kill to Shanks, 4 members down. AL about to secure themselves the Dragon, and they take themselves a 6K gold lead.
They can't even stop the Baron at this point. AL is looking unstoppable here in this best of 5.
It was a closer early game, but the mid game goes AL's way yet again, as they find punish after punish onto the LCP duo from JDG.
But also, I think eyes and some of the blame does fall onto Tabe, right? Like, you're supposed to be this legendary coach, one of the best the LPL has ever produced, and so far with a team that I wouldn't say is packed with superstars, but definitely has a lot of potential and should be top of the region. They have a lot of mid-game scenarios that are, frankly, quite disturbing. So, I don't know what's going on backstage. You also have Coach Zoom, formerly a top laner in the league, helping out with Xiaoshu, but we need to figure out something that's going to be helping us. Maybe just draft more early game, but like, we do nothing here.
Yeah, that's 3 ultimates used to get Tarzan to a 3rd HP, and he's just gonna walk away.
We have 3 item Seraphine. It's gonna have to be something, but when you're an enchanter and you're enchanting your carries who are either behind or just not able to find those kills, it kind of falls upon deaf ears. So Flandra's pushing in mid. They still have this Baron for another 15 seconds, and if JDG get nothing here, they're gonna keep getting squeezed across the map.
That's exactly what's happening here. Flandra gets more and more plates, more and more gold. My man's level 19. And Xiaoshu 17. And here comes an encore. They think they've got themselves a little bit of a pick here. Chain CC comes through onto Hope. He face tanks it for a while, but will eventually drop down to Gala. And now it's 5 versus 4 in JDG's favor. Can they push for more? Just 1 pick. Again, they break the siege, but they lost the mid lane inhibitor turret.
I like the control. Let's get Maokai set up in place, throw some saplings so we can control the area, and more importantly, stall AL so we can get these big team fighting ultimates back unavailable.
Absolutely.
Oh, massive flank TP.
Here. Yeah, coming on behind. It is looking like it's going to be Flandra trying to get the fight started. Loses a lot of health, but pops the dominance, dumps on in, and is looking to push them out of this bottom side. Nice set of ultimates, though, come on through. Xiaoshu gets big between worlds on through, and down goes 1. Health bar's falling lower and lower. Xiaoshu popping up the backside. Honkyu staying alive, and JDG find the team fight they were looking for. It's a double kill to Hongq. Everybody managed to stay alive. A clean ace for JDG at 33 minutes into the game, and they're running down the bottom side. They might be able to end the game,
30-second death timers? We have no grubs here. How can they do that? I mean, they have got 2 cannon minions. I think this might be it, like you were just saying. Somehow, Flandra just goes way too deep. AL,
I don't think they can do it.
I can't believe it.
It's 15 seconds to go on Hope and Kyle. They're
gonna
still
send
working through these turrets. They're going to full send it. Tarzan's up in 8. Hope is up in 10. Can they get back here to stop it? The victor would be the best member. Kyle's here, trying to slow him up. Tarzan arrives, doesn't have the ultimate available, will steal away between worlds, trying his best to clear out this team.
God.
Hope shows up, starts pumping out the damage, but it's too little and it's too late. JDG find one decisive team fight and end the game. Series is tied up at 1-1. I mean, just one massive error cost them the game at 30 minutes. It's hard to walk away with much other than criticisms for JDG because of the way that entire game was played out.
Galio, Jax, how are we playing on side lanes to get ourselves an advantage? Because so far this series has really come down to big fights in 3v3s and around objectives, and I think that JDG just have so many more tools to be able to play, especially early on.
He is playing towards the Jax, despite your requests here, and I mean, Flandra is pushing in. I don't know how long he's going to be willing to hang out here, but Flandra blows both Qs, still has the W to fall back as necessary. Does use it there, flash!
Wow.
Nice dodge from Flandra, last second possible.
Despite all of the worries that we had, I wanted to see this 2v2 in bot lane start to go off without a hitch. Hope and Kyle have done a really strong job of maintaining priority in this 2v2, and now have set themselves up with a decent objective early.
Yeah, and I think that's...
We need to change something up in the mid lane, and we'll have time later in this series, but we need to help Hongq, whether that's getting a support in this lane or just getting bodies to force Shanks off of the lane. Otherwise, we're going to continue to see him, at least for the time being, get a small advantage over his opponent.
Absolutely.
I'm pressing tab as JDG, and I'm saying we have to fight now. I have Sundered Sky completed on my Vi. There's no Trinity Force yet here for Tarzan. If they get a time to either win this fight, or if they win this before he finishes this item, I think it's a huge travesty for the game.
Oh, what if AL starts the fight instead? Tarzan goes on in, gets stuck in the bounce house, and he's going to go down for first blood. Hongq walks away with that one, and AL heard your call and decided to give JDG a bone there. They walk on in, and Tarzan goes down.
Top A, of course. Controlling the strings. That's how we're going to posit this play. It was him.
He trained them wrong
all
on
along.
purpose as a joke. As here
Whoa!
goes Shanks, diving on towards Junja, not quite finding the return on the Orb of Deception. Now getting chased down. Vampire flashes, but shorts the bubble. Shanks is without any more dashes. Lands one more charm. Hope is finding his way onto Hongq. Chaos breaking out around this bottom river now, as Hope will be able to run Hongq down, tie things up at 1-1. Shanks was able to get back in the mid lane, and JDG kind of just give it right back. Sure, it's completed. Hongq is up in here, boots in tow. Clear out this wave. That is going to leave Flandra alone for a little while, though. He's very close to the first turret. I think he might get it, even with Xiaoxi showing up. Yeah, there it goes. A little bit of bonus gold over to AL. They're about 2K in the lead now.
There might be a small window here where AL will have a much stronger 2-item core, especially on their carries. We still have yet to have really much go on here in this game. Gala stepping forward.
Tarzan and Junja fighting up against each other as well. Gala landing some of these nice rockets.
Okay.
Tarzan locked on down once again. Hongq arrives for the backup, and Tarzan going to fall on down. It's a replay of the fight over the last dragon.
And AL can do nothing in response, at least in being able to really generate much more revenue here this game. So, Berto, maybe they're just scaling in the series as a whole. You know, game one, they're going to trade this mid-tier one for a bottom lane tier one. Shanks is doing a lot of work this series in just being able to survive. We're sending multiple members top. We get 2 turrets for this play after JDG invested a lot to the bottom lane. Let's look for a little something.
Another attempt.
Flandra.
How many summoners can we blow in the bottom lane, and can we get a kill for it? Flandra getting collapsed on. Hongq has arrived. TP. All right, this guy's not getting out of here. This guy is done for. Kill goes to Xiaoshu, who is increasingly looking like he is going to need to be the carry for JDG in this series. by JDG for that one. Pretty non-committal. True Shot Barrage getting a little bit of a chunk on down. This is a TP coming on through. One being channeled by Flandra, the other being channeled by Shanks to get back in at full HP.
Spotted.
An ultimate back. Going to be a smite fight over this dragon. Over the wall comes Xiaoshu. Thinks that he's got the angle. They get into the Rift Herald. That's going to force the opportunity to smite. Crashes it into the wall. Tarzan doesn't get much done there. Here comes Galio over the top. And AL have got to bail on this fight. They can get out with their lives. That is going to be the closest thing to a victory they're going to get here. But JDG snag themselves the dragon. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting to not see like the Rift Maker and stuff. It's like the kind of more traditional AP item.
No.
So he's getting collapsed on here. He's going to be wishing he was a little bit tankier at this rate. As Tarzan going to start off the fight onto him. Does go into the stasis. Xiaoshu able to TP in. And AL immediately on the back foot here. Nice charm though found by Shanks. Still going to be able to stay standing. Gets the pawn back onto two. Tidal Wave does a good job of being able to break up the fight. Tarzan going to be first with the fall. Retreat from AL as once again they manage to set up their engage combo. Down goes the front line. It's a double kill to Gala. And AL are pushed back yet again. They try to attack the global, and it still doesn't pay off.
Gala put out so much DPS in that fight, and that was before he's going for the flash forward. That secures them their third dragon and sole point here in this game. And the early game composition from AL,
it's just not the kind of fight that AL want to have for themselves. Be able to find the success. I like the conceptual idea of forcing out the Galio. Instead, they're just going to go for Junjo once again. It's been the previous strategy. Hasn't worked out for him before. They get Junjo incredibly low. Honkyu up there in a 1 versus 4. Finally will drop on down. But it's in trade for Flandra. And Xiaoshu running amok in the back line is able to take down Shanks. Tarzan drops down to Junjo on the opposite side. Hope doing his best to keep the damage flowing, but it's just not enough. It's a 3-for-1 in favor of JDG.
They're going to start up the Baron as well. The damage is just not there. 2-item Ari is not enough, and not even a GA completed here. Hope and Kael, the only two left from AL to maybe squeeze them off of this, but it's only on to Vampire. Xiaoshu's coming in on a flank right now. Hope is dashing forward.
That's crazy, Hope, as Junja connects with the Vault Breaker, and Kael left out to dry. No remaining teammates, has to head out, has to surrender the Baron.
All of our complaints about Junja in this game, his early games have been really weak, but the Sundered Sky healing and just the Conqueror and the shielding from him and his teammates is making it impossible for AL to find kills at the start of the... It's 9-2 here in this game, and despite everything else, they're at sole point. We're in a minute and a half before this spawns. JDG are in prime position to send us into game 4 with a 2-1 lead. I'm getting scared now that I forgot we had this lower third prepped, and I'm feeling a little worried for their chances all of a sudden. I don't like the feeling this is giving me. Oh my, big one from Gala. Takes out a huge chunk of Shanks. 45 seconds, let's just keep using this Baron. It's up for another minute here. Let's keep on pushing, getting more of these waves. Honkyu sitting in mid lane. He's under absolutely zero threat at this time. I love this here for JDG.
Really good setup for them here, keeping the pressure in multiple lanes. They're also crashing a huge wave top that's getting completely dropped by AL. Very good position for them to be in at this stage, and they just want to hold this. They're TPing multiple members back here. I think they probably just got a couple more item spikes. So they're going to have their full strength back. Good True Shot Barrage from Hope, going to try to soften them up a little bit, but we're 10 seconds away from the dragon.
Oh,
Xiaoshu! Right where they want to be, and they're going to start the fight early. Dive in onto the back line from Xiaoshu. Forces Shanks out right away. Flandra the next target. He dances back, but will drop on down. Shanks doing his best to return damage from the side. Not going to be able to accomplish too much. Guardian Angel pop for Tarzan, and he's going to be finished as soon as he comes out of it. 2-0 JDG. Dragon Soul next on the menu.
What an insane flank, and Xiaoshu is having the series that we wanted to see from this guy. Gala's going to walk forward. He'll get his Galio to ult to save him, but that's Soul almost entirely here for JDG.
Advance forward, JDG crushing him. I don't think it's throwable anymore, Ulk.
Wow. Wow.
Don't ask, don't. In a weird way, they're similar, all right? JDG about to move up 2-1 in this series. What a showing after tough early games, 3 games in a row, JDG are scaling into this one, Elk, and they find themselves up 2-1.
It's just in. Gordo thinks all color casters are the same. Yeah, it's fine. It's okay. We'll come back to the idea that I had about like draft economy, especially in a fearless world. And Jax is not a champion that Flandre has played. I hate this draft, man. This is terrible from JDG. What did we do here? We have Bard Misfortune. We have no setup for MF. We have no setup for Nocturne. Zoe has 0 frontline in this game.
Will be an flash blown there from Honkyu. Well done by Shanks. Gets a nice combo through as he takes level 6. We'll be able to get Zoe on the back with Summoner Squad. Kyle gets a flash out of Gala for his own flash. I think that's worth. Oh, Sleepy Trouble Bubble landed onto Tarzan. He wants to chase for more. He wants this kill. He's got the flash. He goes for it. And Tarzan finds first blood.
What are we doing on bottom side here, guys? The Scuttle spawn on the top. There's going to be no immediate play.
And AL, nice start here. Tarzan with the gold. Tarzan with the brutalizer.
Oh, he has no stun.
Solid trade here. Honkyu getting hit by shurikens. Although Junsha here for the backup. Can he get away? Shank's going to try to flash. The fear is going to connect. There's the Paddle Star not connecting, though, and Tarzan now here for the backup. Junsha takes a big chunk of damage. Shanks is out of energy.
Oh!
From Honkyu, and he will find the kill.
That was a very big play. Another respawn Raptor invade, and Kyle is nowhere near this. It's an okay kill going over, but I don't think it changes much of the temperature of this game. I'll have to be a little bit careful here.
Up. I mean, I think Hope and Kyle have to be careful. Gala, the raw double up, just takes out Hope. Cast targeted onto him. No bounce needed.
Gala has potions. He had the so Gala had the adaptive force potion that you get from Inspiration Tree, and that's just a hell of a lot of damage, especially with PTA here. So pretty big mistake coming in from AL's bottom lane. That's that +1 that we were talking about in game number 2. We already made the play happen. We already got yourself the kill. Just get the recall in, but they couldn't get the wave underneath the turret. Gala gets himself a kill. He'll recall. And because of that overextension, this is going to be a much longer game than either of these two were expecting. And we've very rarely actually hit the soul. Because I just remember game 2, there was a Dragon Soul up, and then the game just ended before we took it. We got one finally in that last game, but it almost felt like a mere formality in what was the grand scheme of game number 3.
Level 11 will be great for him, too. Just getting that extra perfect execution, cooldown, and damage to be able to better threaten the Zoe. He's hopefully going to be able to navigate his way over there and have those sorts of performances that we do hope to see from him on the Akali.
Look at the quest completion. Oh, Gala!
Wow, they're going to be able to lock down Gala in no time at all. Tempered Fate, too little, too late. Just bails Hope out, taking any turret damage. There's an ultimate in the river from a Tarzan. And they find Junsha as well. Shanks getting a big injection of gold for a little bit of a help towards getting to that Gunblade. AL, really, really good job to be able to make that play on towards an isolated Gala, punish Vampire for roaming too much on the Bard. Junsha's caught in river. Tarzan feeling strong this game. 80% KP. Oh, that's a Sleepy Trouble Bubble landed on a Hope. Hope walks into it, and he might just be done for. He flashes too. Oh no! Hope goes down. Honkyu with a solo bolo.
Well, now Gala and him are equal. No flash, no barrier, but Hope's is going to be on a slightly more extended cooldown here. Aatrox will TP. They'll have Zoe in a side lane.
Tarzan can do around this bottom side. He's lurking behind Xiaoshu's turret. At the very least, going to take away some jungle camps. Will they go for the dive, though? They're looking like they're interested. Flandre up here in the front line. They do still have the minions. They are going to get the Supreme Display.
Oh my!
Huge regen from Xiaoshu. Sundered Sky keeps Xiaoshu standing. And there is going to be the lockdown on towards Hope, but it's only the Tempered Fate. No follow-up available. Gala going to get exhausted. Kyle has to back away. His cooldowns are done for.
You saw that ultimate onto Hope kind of forced him away. There's no Magnet Storm. JDG should just have all access pass to this Dragon. AL, you have no tools to play with. And now Tarzan Yes, he uses Flash. We are no longer playing for this, guys. They're going to just force the issue.
Yes, we are. Here's Flandra and Kyle. Flash in from Kyle. They get some lockdown onto Honkyu. They get the decimating smash as well. Honkyu loses a ton of HP. Paranoia comes through. Kyle's dead to the bullet time. Junja throws himself in towards Tarzan.
There
Flashes
we go.
back, gets the insect fear by flashing behind Tarzan, but he will die for it. Shanks now throwing himself towards Gala on the back line. Gets some good damage on a Vampire, forces them back through the magical journey. Now looking to cut off Xiaoshu on the opposite side, who will flash away from a decimating smash of his own. And somehow ALs have stopped the Dragon from going down by trading jungler for a jungler.
I mean, you're losing out big time, and you're giving over gold to this JDG team you don't want to see.
Oh, great Tempered Fate here, going to save Xiaoshu's life as he gets Scream his way to talent into the wall. They are still going to be able to melt through the support on the backside, and Xiaoshu taking more damage than he can handle. AL grind JDG to dust as they get 3 kills. Dragon on the menu, easy to secure. AL, despite the misgivings of the last fight, they take the lead right back.
Imagine if JDG's draft just wasn't awful, right? Like, imagine how easy this game would have been if we had some setup. If Rel was on this team for JDG.
Currently posturing in and around the Baron. Can they find some kind of crazy Zoe pick?
Ooh, Shanks is on a flank. As long as they can keep them in this choke, this could be a very big fight right now. Also getting priority over the mid wave. I think dangerous that AL gets so much space like this. MF is supposed to be rather stalwart, a champion that really wants to duel. Let's go out.
Oh, wow, lights go out, and in goes Kyle.
Oh, no!
Storm onto 2, launching themselves in towards Hope. Honkyu getting soloed out by Shanks, will fall down over the wall. Shanks finds a second one. Flandra fending off the remaining members, and over there, in a 1 versus 3, it's Xiaoshu doing his best with the World Ender rolling, but it's not enough. Hope will finish him off. 5K gold lead to AL as they take the fight 3-0.
Masterful engage from Kyle essentially ends this game and sends us to game 5, functionally speaking. And now they're going to grab the Baron as well. 750 gold for this, the Baron, and this timer's going to roll right into the Dragon in 1.5 minutes while they finish off a mid lane turret. Big gold swing coming in for Anyone's Legend, the first seed, and he's getting no help here in game 4.
Oh, Shanks! We don't need to land Shuriken Flip. We're too far ahead. Solo kill found by him once again. In comes the Paranoia. This time he's got the stasis to be able to withstand it. And Tarzan is in there. Supreme display of talent. It displays Junja to the ground. And it'll be 2 more in the pockets of AL as they are able to keep this push going with the Baron buff at their backs.
My JDG cope for this game is that this is a draft where we said, hey, we're getting rid of Bard from Kyle. We won't have to worry about game 5 Bard. That's kind of it in my mind. Vampire's going to barely escape. He's just going to get chased out of his own jungle at this point. Another turret falls. 9,000 gold lead here for AL as they are going to wrap up this one in surefire fashion. We're at 25 minutes. We're already at a 10,000 gold diff.
AL looking to take us the full distance. The Tabe Bowl will go. Game 2 maybe gives you a little bit of pause.
I think it would be hard-pressed. We're looking for a little bit of something.
Well, Tarzan just got 1 shot, but it is a good re-engage for Hope. He jumps in, executes 2. Xiaoshu flashes in, thinks he can finish Hope, can't do it. Double kill to Shanks, and that should be it. 4 kills down. Vampire needs to hold off 1 versus 4. I think there's going to be a T-King Scion here before too long. 3,000 total assists for Kyle. Congratulations to him.
In 2 years,
fast pace.
Yeah. 3,002, and yeah, that's it. They've got a wave, they've got Baron. We're going to game number 5. I guess JDG just want more experience. They just want to play more game 5s here in the playoffs.
10 playoff games for JDG. Playing a whole other season out here. See if they will be able to take it home. They have a chance to be able to move even further in this winner's bracket. It is not over yet. Silver Scrapes upcoming. AL win out game number 4, making it look like game number 1.
Is useless. I don't understand why we are going for this pairing. You have 0 setup. Rel was up. We first picked the Bard, and I think that's the thing that I'm most critical of.
I'm blown away here. How squishy is this JDG comp, my man? Like, this is... I feel like it's going to be tough to not just get...
Very early aggressive invade. You saw that punishment onto Hongq was just them looking for something. Yeah, level 3, here we go.
Ooh, hook connects on towards Kyle. He will take a turret shot for that, and that's a big one. He falls down to below 300 HP. Tarzan, though,
doing it
hovering
again?
in the area. Both jugglers are here. Are we going for this? Is this happening right now? Tarzan stepping up forward, already has lost half of his HP. Hook connects onto Kyle. Here comes Junja. I think they assumed he had given up and gone up towards the top side. 2 kills to JDG at 2 minutes and 25 seconds.
Thank you, Tabe. This was a draft masterclass from you, brother.
Yeah, it does look like Tarzan going to be able to secure the majority of the grubs here. Junja does not appear to have any interest in arriving. And again, Hongq's been forced back. Having a bit of a tough lane against Shanks here, who has, despite the loaded dice gold that Twisted Fate generates, that's going to give him the gold lead. Shanks still pushing up in mid lane. Tarzan still farming bottom side camps. The dragon, rather, under full vision. Likely going to be the target here for AL as they try to step up towards it. They're calling mid lane over as well. Xiaoshu getting a great chunk onto Flandre here, going to be able to push him back. Won't be able to finish off the kill, but with no TP, Flandre now in a rough position. Hook connects onto Tarzan. Huge damage here, but Kyle's there to back him up. In comes the port from Hongq.
No!
Kyle able to stop him, though, with the Unbreakable. Hope needs to find these shots on a Hongq, though, too slowed up by the box. And Hongq will stay alive, flashes forward, doesn't get the auto. Oh, man, this is all getting chaotic real fast here. Shanks flashing forward, going to be able to get the lockdown onto Junja. Miasma holds him still, and the kill will be picked up for AL. Dragon soon to follow.
And a huge play here for AL, grabbing this dragon on top of it, man. Like, that's super dangerous. And Junja, who had a huge lead, he has 1,000 gold over Tarzan. They're not able to burst him out. Kyle uses the stand beside me.
Instead, he's going to be getting ganked. Junja here to bail him out as he pops the ghost.
He steals the respawn raptors. They're going to see if they can make another play. Some more plates on the bottom side. AL instead are going to go for a trade. They're just going to say, look, you've decided to put all your members on bot side. They don't know that the Kha'Zix is here, but should just be the Herald as well. And remember, AL, they have 3 grubs here. This is really, really dangerous to be giving over, I think, from JDG's perspective. It's gold into Gala's pocket, and maybe he'll be the big one to kind of basically carry this team across the finish line. I want to take a moment to talk about the through lines of these last 2 game 5s from JDG. I feel like AL are really, really comfy with the spot they're in. Junja taking a disgusting flank to try to steal this, but Tarzan and Shanks are on their way. They're just coming back to their jungle camps. Cool, you jumped away, you're going to run into Kyle. Maybe they just pick out the brawl.
Oh, there's a cleanse from Kyle. He's going to try to walk his way out of this one, and looks like it's going to work. Junja grabs the Dark Passage, says, I'm not chasing this brawl any further. I don't know what's waiting for me in those bushes.
He just gets this entire turret, and he does. I don't even care that he doesn't have the teleport for this, right? There is under no threat that this Baron's going over to JDG. Junja's trying to get damage. He's a subjugate.
Tarzan's going to fight him. Tarzan takes this 1v1, says, come at me, bro. Hope shows up. Hope looking for one more auto. Will find it. He's going to die over to Hongq, though. And it will be his support picked off as well. Quick little 2-for-1. AL maybe get a little big for their britches there. Feel too confident watching Tarzan do well in the 1v1 and give up a little more than they had to. That's got to be the goal. Oh, Xiaoshu finds himself an angle up against Flandre. He wants this kill. Tarzan up in his face, going to try to slow him down. The needles graze Flandre, but they don't take him down. The 1k gold lead to Xiaoshu feels pretty good, as does 2 items, but this turret going to add to that lead. That's going to need to be their focus. JDG in the side lane. This Gwen, huge strength for them.
Oh, Junja took the portal. They know he's on this side of the map, and it's completely warded out. Remember, no ultimate for this Gwen if she comes. Oh, no.
They're just going to pull the trigger on the Hongq. He's about to get stunned. Dark Passage bails him out yet again. Here comes Flandre off the TP. It is a 5-on-5 for Dragon number 3. Vampire going to get stunned up first here, does connect a hook, it's on to Kyle. Kyle going to be able to back on away in time.
Ooh.
Triple knockback found by Flandra into the miasma. Moonlight Vigil comes out, smite is successful for Tarzan, soul point secured, and AL can back away now if they want to, but they might see an opportunity to get a little bit more. Flandra up in the front line, Noxious Blast connecting, Hong Q getting ticked down lower and lower by these Twin Fangs, and JDG will back away. AL get what they came for.
Yeah, guess what, JDG? You still have a 3,000 gold lead, but what do you have to show for it? You are down 3 dragons in this game. This is good. I like this, though. You got the ultimate out from Braum and from Lucian. This is as good as it's going to get for them. They'll have push in mid, but right now it's all about the dragon. Flandra is so damn tanky. The only people who can kill him right now is this Gwen and Aphelios. Dragon's being started, and AL, it seems like instead they're going to play around the mid wave and see if they can maybe get a little bit more, maybe find someone out, get maybe even this Twisted Fate.
Now, one gold card did take Hope for about half of what he was worth there. Another one connects onto Kyle. That's some big damage here. In goes the engage onto Flandra. Moonlight Vigil takes down one. Flandra's basically out of health. Gala running amok. Destiny out of the back line. This time it finds a kill, double kill, triple kill to Gala. And he comes alive. JDG get their first dragon of the game, and they get 3 kills while they're at it. They're making a beeline right for the Baron.
That play around the choke where the ultimate, the culling from Hope, didn't get anybody, that might have just cost them the entire game here.
All right, we're back. Is it throwable? Yeah, just pull it up. Here's the question, especially given that we do not like the team comp here for JDG. They were able to pull away that last one, though. They just got so many rotations of gold cards into harassment. Flash over the wall from Tarzan, right on top of Gala. Flandra coming in from the backside. Tarzan's going to die for this, but they do get the isolated all-out on Gala. Now Xiaoshu launching himself into a 1 versus 3. Mist not going to keep him alive. Petrifying Gaze onto 2. Pull back in on to Vampire, and 3 kills go the way of AL.
I think that was their team manager. I'm pretty sure that was Ahwe. Is their videographer. There we go. We got to meet him at MSI, actually. It's very cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, this game is tense, man. Now the game 5 is actually kind of kicking. No. Control of mid lane. Xiaosu's going to have to join in after... That is the edge of night gone. See, maybe if they look for something. I mean, 30 seconds before this dragon. Again, super tense, and no eyes on Gwen right now.
Now there's eyes on Gwen, spotting her coming on in from the top side. Junja, though, deep behind enemy lines. I think Hope might have seen him. It's hard to tell. Yeah.
Such weird battle lines here. Oh, Hong Q, no!
Q. There's another dark passage to pull him out to safety. Once again, Vampire's clutch with it. Gets his boy out of danger, but that's a huge chunk. Hong Q trying to channel a recall, uses the Empower from that mid lane quest 2026 here to try to help get Hong Q out of this one as he TPs back on in and the dragon gets started. Junja stealth up in the front line with not active camouflage. One more pillar going to slow up Gala. Flandra coming in into the dragon pit, trying to push out the opposing jungler. Goes for the all-out, pulls Junja out to the other side, but the dragon's not losing any health. Instead, it's Tarzan taking damage from Xiaoshu. Xiaoshu still going to be able to stay standing inside of the dragon pit. Junja's right back in there. The all-out didn't accomplish anything, and the dragon is falling lower and lower. It goes the way of JDG. No soul this time for AL as they try to back away from the rest of the fight. Cassante was able to get a recall. He's trying to TP back in. Now they want to be able to cut off the escape route and find the fight on the back end. More poke coming on through from Gala, though. These health bars are getting whittled lower and lower. This is the recipe for failure.
There might be a window here where JDG look to start up this Baron. You can see it's red-white for Aphelios. He's going to move into white and green, and that just means complete zone coverage. AL are again going to have to walk into this objective.
It's too late. They can't get out of this Baron in time. It's already fallen on down. Junja's over the wall, starting to get some chunk damage out of Tarzan. Vampire will fall, the only casualty of the fight so far. And JDG are able to retreat. 4 members wearing purple.
Such a tense game here. I mean, I was so excited to have Shanks as this Cassiopeia mega threat here in this game with a soul on their backs, but multiple fights in a row, we have seen that now JDG have a unbreakable line.
They don't have to start these fights, and it's not because they aren't playing the objectives. It's not because they're exclusively side laning. It's because they're making collapses onto Shanks on the side lane. Down goes Cassiopeia, TP in from Flandra. He needs to try to get out of here with his life. They're at risk of losing the game here. The base going to likely be broken open during this death timer. Flandra still able to keep himself out. That's a wasted Mikhail's.
Yep.
Xiaoshu into the back line, trying to get onto Hope. Maybe reaching a little bit too far here. They will be able to back away. Opened up with the culling. Damage found onto Xiaoshu. Damage found on towards
That's it
as well. And they're going to try to end the game here. 30 seconds to go. There's no Cassiopeia. They're going to have to take this fight. 4 versus 5. Dash in from Flandra. Double knockup. In with the all-out. Xiaoshu chops him down. Onto Hope. And everybody on AL just cannot stand and fight without Shanks. JDG against all odds come up in game number 5.
18 kill game. That was a relatively bloodless game, but small objective skirmishes.
Be able to get yourself back in a position once those engage tools are absorbed, and there's few enough of them around that if you're able to cancel out one of the few efforts that you get with a Thresh Dark Passage,